Monsieur Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do de. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello?
Bissel mu fine.
What?
Bissel mu fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Bissel mu fine. Wave, your money is yours.
Jah Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
You wanted to say more on the de-reservation of some of our parks and nature reserves. There was a time when Abuko was a major issue in this country.
Yeah, that's a Abuko was a major issue. Not only Abuko, that is what they call Nyanaberi Forest Park, which is in Jara, Salaji. Peter, when you look at forest, what do you see? Answer that question.
Trees?
Exactly. I don't see trees.
What do you see?
I see ecosystem. I see life. I see oxygen. I see biodiversity. I see life support system. So that's the difference. When you see tree, you are missing it. It's a whole ecosystem that has life support system for us. The oxygen that we breathe in oxygen and take out carbon dioxide. The trees, they need that carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and breathe out oxygen that we breathe. So when you cut it, you are destroying the life support system. Secondly, the forest roots, they hold the soil, they hold the topsoil to leave the natural fertility there. Once you clear it, you're having wind erosion, you're having washing out the topsoil, etc. So when you are degasseting, which actually, this I'll challenge anybody, they are illegal. They are illegal. The minister has the right to reserve an area and say this is a reservation area. The minister has the right to reserve that area that is given by the Forest Act. But when a reserve area goes to Parliament and now declared a national park, these are the things that is confusing both the ministry, because you have a national park and reservation area. The one is national park, the minister doesn't have any right. It has, if you want to do it, you have to go back to Parliament. So when Nyanaberi, there was a dispute in the village of Alcalo, so they needed land to establish another village. The minister went and declared certain part of Nyanaberi and gave it to the villagers for settlement. That's illegal. Abuko, the same. Abuko is a national park. National park has no to reserve it. But when I read later, they said no, it's not within the boundary of the park. Salaji, I remember the Chinese wanted to put a quarry or warehouse there. They were shown part of it, And I was among the former director of forest that wrote petition to the president. And we are told, no. You go there, that area, there are no trees. But we are seeing the trees on the ground because the root system is there and holding that. These are the things that we should be mindful of, say, to maintain the forest cover. You know, we have the Banjul declarations. I saw that. When we used to go presidential tour, we are doing tree planting, establishing village woodlots.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. In different areas, we establish village woodlots. We call it village fuel woodlots. Instead of the villagers going to the forest, cutting it for firewood, we are planting so that they will plant. We get all the materials and the seedlings. They will plant. We had in Farafenni, we had everywhere. That we used to do that with Sada. That was very enthusiastic about it. Tree planting and village woodlots. That is to increase the forest cover. Once you do that, you can also go and leverage funds from the green fund instead of depleting it. Once you deplete it and reducing your carbon
footprint.
Carbon footprint, those who will give you money, they know about it. They have monitoring. Even if they monitor, satellite will tell them. Satellite will tell. One experience I have with the donors is that the donors, they talk among themselves. We used to take a project and give it to donor X, and the same project we give to donor Y. And then later on, donor Y will tell, no, it's okay, donor X will handle that. They met among themselves. They say, I received this from Gambia, this one said this from there. They talk among themselves. Here also, if we pretend that we are mitigating climate change, global warming, and we are doing adaptation, and then we are doing counter, they will know. So we should be mindful of that what we say is what we do. That they need to, empower or not empower, build the capacity of those institutions that are responsible for taking care of our national assets.
Okay, we talked about Nyana Berry, we spoke about Abuko Nature Reserve. How do you reconcile conservation with pressure for land use and development? Because the population is growing.
Yes, it's growing. That's why, I say, Peter, this is very interesting. Being a director of forestry in those early years, we faced a challenge that Gambia was having one of the highest population growth rate. And our density per hectare was one of the highest in Africa. So I said, here we are. Family planning is out there talking about family planning. And we in this, we believe in family planning. Don't increase, the population. But I remember family planning in those days in the 80s. They had posters all over the country with a family of about 10 children. Another one, family of about 3 children. And they are promoting family of 3 children. You know what the population were saying? Ndeysaan kii moom day moom daw na yaram ñaari doom rek la am masha Allah fukki doom so the communication did not go well. Secondly, our traditional farming system, you wanted to have 3-4 wives and a lot of children so that you have more hands on the farm. So that tradition, we have to move away from that. So there is pressure everywhere, for land. But you look at land, that's what they call land use system. Every land has a purpose. Some are for residential, some are for agriculture, some are for forest. You take some residential area, that's why no wonder during rainy season, you cannot go there. It's all inundated. It's not supposed to be residential. So there was a land use map, well planned. But even now, you see the recent land use map, you'll see area for church or for mosque, for playground. You go there, it's all houses. So our local administrators like the Alkalolus, etc., they are not following. All what they want is to give land or sell or extra what they do. So at the policy level, government should take stand at the policy level, how we deal with that. When I say that is commitment, I'll go back to the environment. We have recently you heard about the crocodile.
Yes.
Everybody went bizarre the environmentalists, went berserk. I said, no, Gambia cannot do that. Last year was the hippo, this year the crocodile. Let's forget the Banjul Declaration. We have the CITES Convention.
Let's just clarify here that the crocodile you're referring to is this crocodile, whether live or dead, that was gifted reportedly to the president.
Yeah, that's what
as part of the Meet the People.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. We have these hunters. The same hunters did it for the hippo and did it. We have CITES, International Convention on Trade for Endangered Species. They are banned. That's why you never see these bags that they call crocodile bags and extra snake. It's banned. We signed that. But I was furious. I said, when the president comes, I'm going to meet him. But fortunately, I saw a press release from the office of the president. Said, no, they killed it, but they were stopped from giving it to the president as gift.
Okay.
So the president did not receive it as gift. But don't celebrate that they killed it. They should not have killed it because it's an endangered species. So we signed the CITES Convention. So we are violating the CITES Convention. We are violating the Banjul Declaration, that came out in 1970. So let's not celebrate, say, no, it didn't get to the president. They were stopped. Statements should come say, don't do this again. Tourists are going up there. They are seeing all of these endangered species. There should be strong statement from the Ministry of Environment, Wildlife and Forestry, and educating. Educating. You can kill wildlife. It's what we call calling. In Kenya, when the elephant population is overpopulated,
so large, and
so large, they give license. Nyokolokoba, I had a friend who came from France. He said, I'm going to hunt lion at Nyokolokoba. I said, give me license. He's allowed to kill one. It's calling. Here also, when you have overpopulation of the crocodile, you can do calling. But you don't have, any data, any statistics, etc. You just say, we are the traditional hunter, boom, start killing. That should stop. That should stop. There are a lot of things in the environmental area that we need to do something to be seen serious and to understand it, because it's what I'll use this for ecosystem functionality. We are greedy, we are development for what we want, but more than what we want. As they say that you have your monsoon, you sleep only in one bed.
Yeah, sure.
You have 5 cars, you drive only one.
Absolutely. So how can ordinary Gambians contribute to climate action in their daily lives?
They should first understand what is impacting the global warming and climate change.
What will it take to make them understand?
Awareness. That's what they call, where I was working, UNEP, we had our mandate were 3. Sensing. Sensor, you sense the environment, what is going to happen in the next 5 years, and what is happening now. Second, awareness. Bring awareness. And third, pilot project. There should be a lot of campaign from government, from NGOs, from everybody. We all have a role to play. When I passed somebody the other day having a tire and trying to burn it, I stopped and I talked to him. I explained to him. Yesterday, I was driving, a car was in front of me, stopped, the driver opened what he was eating, he finished, just opened and dropped it. So the streets are our dustbin. So it's awareness that we should be. When you go to, Kotu dump site?
Bakote?
Bakote, right. You see the smoke coming out and extra. You know what that is? That's methane gas. That is causing all of this, one of the greenhouse gases. What we should do to tap it. The way we cook as individual. In the 80s, during the time of Sardauda, we have what we call Sinkuri Kuto.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
So we even trying to ban the use of charcoal, because to make charcoal, you need to burn 10 kilos of wood to have 1 kilo of charcoal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you are. So if you are aware of all of this, then you will know how to mitigate it. To give one example, I remember, because I studied this early, in the 70s. I came one of the meetings. I went to Senegal. I was roommate with a friend of mine, the late lawyer Mbasumbai. We were in a hotel. in Dakar, and it was hot. As we were leaving the hotel, I put the air conditioner off, so that. So he said, "Why put it off? Put it on. So when it could be cool." I said, "No, that is what we call the hydrofluorocarbons. They are in that, and it's getting into the atmosphere. So if you are aware of that, you know how to use your air conditioning. Thank God they have banned all of this. Now this air conditioning, you do not have that. So you see what you buy. Sometimes it's written zero, greenhouse. Most of these products you see in the supermarket are having that. So what you buy, how you live, and I'm an environmentalist, so I have to drive something green. So I'm driving a hybrid. When people tell me, that's dangerous, I say, at least I'm not guilty. I'm trying to reduce my carbon print, and the type of electricity, Peter. Most of these, middle class, they still depend on NAWEC, and they can afford solar. So that's the individual role that you can play. Okay. Someone will tell me, "Oh, but that's expensive." Yes, but it's a one-time investment. But you are also mitigating. Okay. So that's an individual role that you play. And then government should encourage and reduce taxes on those products. I remember during the time of Sir Dawda, they were saying that they would reduce taxes, and they were producing subsidized gas, during the sales. The gas is not expensive, it's the bottle. Yeah. So we bought government through sales, bought the bottles and gave it to GB, and the Elliots, etc., Musa Njai, Bin Njai, Tafs, the bottles, so that it will come down. So all of these are our individual roles that we can play to reduce our carbon footprint.
And how do you measure success in climate mitigation at the national level?
At the national level, the only way you can measure it to see how the rainy season is coming, how we are going to deal with our farming system. Whether we are going to do slash and burn or stop slash and burn. So that's a way of measuring it. And two, the type of fertilizers that we're going to use. We say NPK, that's the fertilizer that we knew since colonial times, but urea, organic fertilizer. There's a company here that is making organic fertilizer, and using the sewage system here, etc., to encourage those type of things. In the fishing industry, we have sustainable fisheries also. To see what type of nets are we using. So these are all mitigating it. What type of, if somebody comes to open a factory, to have an environmental impact assessment on that EPA, not just to open a factory because there's a factory there. We looked at the machines going to use and what is going to put into the atmosphere, etc. Whether it can be internationally compliant. Nobody saying don't use coal, but the chimney, it should be so many meters up so that it goes up, not coming down. So all of these are ways that the individuals can.
So when it goes up and doesn't come down, that's all right?
Well,
because there was a time when we were talking about the ozone layer, remember? When you talked about the fluorocarbons.
Hydrofluorocarbon, okay. Yeah. I'll come back. Up and down. The down is that because the people who live around complain that they cannot breathe. In Barnier, Senegal, that cold one, they say they cannot breathe. Clean air, they are having all type of diseases, cancer, etc. So when it goes up, the ozone, that's a very important. You have the ozone layer. The ozone layer protects us from all of these diseases and cancer. Peter, when you looked at it, you can only see 5 colors. Color is not a color. It's energy wave. You cannot see infrared. You cannot see ultraviolet. When you look at forest, you see green. But that's not green. What you see is not green. Your eye is green. You can see. We call it Roy G beef. Roy red, G green, blue, except 5. That's what you can see, like the rainbow. But you go there, the energy wavelength your eyes cannot see. You have to use a certain instrument to see. So when you do aerial photography or satellites passing through Gambia, and I'm interpreting it because in forestry we learn it, anything that I see red, I know is green. That's how it is. So the ozone layer protects us from that infrared. It is a shield. Now, when this carbon and the greenhouse gases go up, they create what we call the ozone hole. It's very interesting because, you know, if you say ozone is O3, you know, oxygen is O2. Oxygen is very stable, is O2. So O3, you have the oxygen O2 and an extra O, which is very weak. It's looking for somewhere to what you call Jafandeku. It's just there. So when you put, you know, methane, you know, with CH4, the C is there weak. That C will cut off and link with that O of that extra ozone and become CO. So you are opening up. So that's what we are saying, that all of these things that we are polluting, they have a weak atom. You know, carbon dioxide, you have the CO2, the O2 is here. You know, carbon monoxide is just CO. You know, when you are in a plane, you look at the window, you see something like water. That's what is happening, because that extra is that water moisture H2O is looking for somewhere to attach to. So that window is attaching there. So once we understand that, we'll try to reduce the use of that. As individual, when we are using yotox, all of those that we are spraying, pesticides. All of we used to call them the feed. They go. Refrigerators that we buy, you know, we looked at the refrigerator that we buy, we say, but thank God most of those things are not even available. They are being phased out. Leaded fuel, I mentioned here, when I came to 2003, coming from UNEP, by that time, the thing was to abolish leaded fuel. I introduced it here and everybody thought I was crazy. I said, it will come a time it will not be available. Now when people tell me, no, people here, they are just taking, it's not available because some of these negotiations are banning it. Diesel is full of sulfur, and all of those go emit to create, you know, ozone hole. So most of these are banned. Then if you want to buy leaded fuel, you have to hustle. Maybe there are a few here and there. So go back to our individual to look at all of these things that me as an individual, that's how I'm going to reduce my carbon footprint, and as a country, that's how I'm going
And just before time catches up with us, because we have about, another 5-6 minutes, what more should our country, the Gambia, do to honor our obligations to all these international conventions we have signed on climate change, environment, and what have you?
If I were advising the government, I would say, sit down or have an office and look at all of these conventions that you have signed. Look at all the commitments and see whether you have domesticated them. Because you can sign a convention, but you have to bring it to Parliament to domesticate it. That we call ratification.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it takes 10 years to ratify.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because when you have the Kyoto Protocol 1997, it was ratified in 2005. Now you have the International Accord on navigable water. They are still looking for ratification after so many years. Oh, wow. You know, they are looking for ratification. So you looked at the things that you have ratified and said, okay, now, how are we going to implement this? You look at the sectors that are involved. Because here what is happening is that people have gone to climate meeting where they come, and they keep it to themselves. But they have done something on agriculture. They should pass it to the Minister of Agriculture. Some on health, they should pass it, but they hold there. Have a body that is looking. You have the NEA, you know, they are trying. But have an independent body that's looking to all of these and said, as I usually accuse the president, I said, signing convention is like competition who has the most beautiful pen. Because when he sign, boom, 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 they sign. But a president sign when it comes now is not his responsibility for the implementation. There should be who should implement. And there should be reporting at the national level. Now, the problem that we face, and most countries face, that we don't have the capacity, because we have signed so many conventions on environment and others, and each of them do have reporting annually. Do we have the capacity to report? That should be a one-stop shop for reporting. Maybe a department that will do the reporting, and you build that capacity. Sometimes you have statistics that do reporting on certain for trade, but as we say, that we do not have the capacity to do all of the reporting. And then you look at which convention I can leverage funds, because these commitments say that if you sign this convention, if you sign this accord, this is available, and therefore, let's go. You have to be opportunistic. You have signed, go and get money from it. But we are signing, we are not getting much, but we should get more, because the green fund there is available. We are having a solar system, but still we need to do more. To wind energy, we need to do more. So it's available there. Know what you have signed, understand it, and put people who understand it to take the lead. You cannot take people who do not understand it and they take responsibility. So when they come, they are lost. They should understand it, and they'll give directives, say we should do A, B, C, and D to get it all, over with.
Well, we have 2.5 minutes. What would you like to say in conclusion?
I'd like to say in conclusion that Gambia, we have opportunity to leverage funds. We do not have, we have our budget, we are talking about our budget, we don't have resources and so forth, but we are talking of trillions of dollars and euro out there to be leveraged. You need to know what you do to leverage those funds. You will be able to develop marketable projects. The projects, that's the terminology used in the international scene. It has to be marketable. You market it. There are things that they looked at in project. We should be able to. And if you don't, go to ADB, Africa Development Bank. They have a window to build your capacity. You go to the Framework Convention on Climate Change. They have a window. UNEP has a window. UNDP has a window for capacity building. Build the capacity of the people who are here, who are dealing with it, so they'll be able to deal with it. And then finally, to have that political commitment. It hurts me that when politicians, who are ministers, so take unilateral decision of something that belongs to all of us. You just sit down with a stroke of pen, I'm going to reserve that. This is a wetland. We have signed the Ramsar Convention and said, let's cut all of this mangrove and these wetlands. That is, if you take Banjul, all of that but it's a sponge. When it rains, it sucks the water. If you build that, you are having all of that flooding in Gambia. So you need to keep all of that. So we need to understand all of this. We need to understand when you're driving at Bond Road, you see the water crossing the water. You need to understand what causes it. So the political decision and political commitment, that's the most important, because all of the science and all of that, in the end, it goes to cabinet, it goes to parliament, and you have to make a political decision. Don't make a political decision that will give you votes. Make a political decision that is good for the population, that is good for the people, because this is nature given to us by God, so we have no right to destroy it. Once we destroy it, we should understand that we are destroying our own life support system.
Alhaji Baimas Taal, thank you so very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Peter.
Alhaji Baimas will be back next week.
Excellent jam, Wave.
Yo, apply. Yo, luta do dede. Luta mo nulo jël moto nga andil ma xaalis. Hello? Ano lay waxaat?
Busel mu fine.
What?
Busel mu fine.
Yes!
Wave Axina Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave. Busel mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.
Jah Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jah Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances. Not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.